Good, I'm a bit tired. It's been a
Uh,
hectic week.
what's the weather like over there?
The weather today was actually quite lekker. It was like 28, 20, 22 degrees, clear
Mm,
skies. Can't complain. It's
yeah,
ideal.
let me just figure this out quick. Okay, sweet. Yeah, no, I did my first podcast last week. I don't know if Graham messaged you.
Mm.
Yeah, he was my first one, and I had you actually as an idea to bring on. So yeah, I guess we could
Well,
start
happy to
from
be here. Thanks for
yeah,
having me.
sweet man. I guess we could start from the beginning. The Bosch days, uh, primary school. So when did your rugby school career start?
Jeez, the very beginning was Sax back in 2004, 2005. I
I
played
see you
mini
at
rugby there
Saxa.
just for 2 years, and then I went to Sweet
Okay.
Valley for the rest of my primary school days.
Yeah.
So rugby for me started out with mini rugby down there at Sax. It was always muddy, and my dad was actually the coach.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about mini rugby there was that you could play tackle from from grade one. So first 2 years of rugby there, and then I played at Sweet Valley until grade seven,
Yeah.
until 2010, and that was a really nice experience as well. And then a couple of us went off to Bosch for high school
Yeah. There's a
in
lot of
2011.
Sweet Valley boys that come through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, obviously went through the ranks at Bosch. I was actually there on a partial rugby scholarship in
Okay.
grade eight. And our year was known as like the dream team year because there were quite a few scholarship oaks. I think there were like a good 10 of us.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I made under 14 A's, 15 A's, 16 A's. And it was nice. Every single year throughout those age groups, we won the Grand Slam. So
Yeah.
beat
Yeah.
all the
All
local
three.
schools every time, which was a really nice experience. And then in each year, we managed to beat a different pass school, but we didn't beat like more than one pass school a year. So in
Okay.
grade eight, we beat Lampo. Under 15, we beat Chim. Under 16, we beat Boys High, which are
Yeah.
all like really nice experiences. It was nice to get one pass school under the belt, as
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
there's like a big mental block with them. And like through those years, it kind of just unblocked those, which was
Yeah.
cool. And then first team rugby, I didn't actually come straight into the first team in grade 11. I always remember I played my first game against Weinberg for the second.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that Weinberg weekend, we went to Kes, but I wasn't supposed to be in the initial team. And then there was an injury. Mike Pulverman, the flanker in Matric, was huge. And he
Okay.
unfortunately got injured. And then I got called up as a sub for the Kes tournament.
Mm,
And for that first Weinberg game, the first team got pumped like 50 something. And I'll never forget it. I was so happy that I didn't play because
yeah.
it went
Yeah.
second, the soldiers won. So that was unreal for me. And then I've got the call up for Kez. And then that's where the first team journey started for me in grade 11.
Okay.
Um, got a nice game time, played a lot in grade 11. We That was actually the year we got pumped 50 by Bishops back in
Yeah.
2014. And then that was so scarring. And then we played them on the Piley. This for the second game. I'll never forget. We were up at half time, and then we lost by like 1 point, which was sucky, but like such a huge improvement. So
Yeah.
I kind of like paved the way for our matric year, and we came out firing. Because in our matric year I'll never forget, we beat Paul Russ. That was the only school we haven't beaten, and we beat Paul Russ in Newlands, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
like, got the whole rugby community pumped up.
Newton's rugby
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a pretty epic experience.
So
Yeah, and then
what year did you finish in? 20,
I finished in 2015.
so
Yeah.
2015. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So how many caps do you think you got in total for first,
Jeez. I think,
roughly?
I mean, we played like 26 games in our final year,
Oh
but I was a
shit.
bit injured for a few of them.
Mm,
I'd say a good 35, but not
okay.
much more.
Yeah, not bad,
Yeah, yeah. Not a Amani. I didn't get like a 15 capper.
huh? Yeah,
Yeah, I got a fair amount, which is really awesome to play so many games for your school. Like it just paves
yeah,
the way for
yeah.
rugby afterwards.
So you arrived at Bosch grade 8. So you were 18 throughout every year.
Yeah, yeah. The only team that I wasn't 18 was that
Yeah,
one Soldiers game,
yeah, yeah,
which was
yeah.
a cool, humbling experience. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Always a nice team to be in. A
Always.
second team,
Jeez,
yeah,
I'll never not enjoy playing for them.
yeah,
I have a 100% winning rate with them, so it's fantastic.
yeah, yeah. So positions through the years.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll never forget in grade 8, I was always flank, but I was always the shortest
Yeah.
flanker on the field by far. In grade 8, I actually threw in the line out because our hooker couldn't throw.
Mm.
So I threw in the line out. And I always was open side, I think, through the age groups. First team, I think first team level, I always played 8.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. The coaches just always enjoyed me at 8. And then
That's
if there was an
interesting.
injury at flank, I would go to flank.
Yeah.
But generally 8, which was funny because I was always the shortest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. So I just generally loose forward. I didn't end up playing hooker, which is great.
Yeah. Who were your coaches through the years?
Coaches through the years, we had Mark,
Anyone that would be still involved.
Josh Carew. Is Josh Carew still a coach there?
Yeah. The two of them, the brothers,
Oh, Josh and Joel.
Joel
Yeah,
as
no,
well. Yeah. So
they are huge.
Joel is
They were
now
huge with Josh.
yeah, yeah. Joel is now first team forwards coach.
Yes, so I've heard. So
Yeah.
I've heard he's definitely a good one to
And
have there.
then Josh, I know from under 14, under 15, he used to do like all the scrumming drills with us and stuff. Really, really nice
Yeah,
guy.
yes,
Yeah,
super.
yeah,
He's known me since grade 8, and it was pretty cool
yeah,
because he was my forwards coach in varsity cup. So he's seen me
yeah,
grow
yeah. I've seen that.
from
Yeah,
2011 to 2021. It's been like a decade
that's
with him. It's been unreal.
yeah. Was he? Are they? He also went to Bosch. Yeah?
Yeah, I think he matriculated in '08.
Okay.
In '08, yeah. So
Uh,
he's a veteran. He's the head of hostel that
yeah,
was
yeah,
matric. So he knows the school.
yeah,
He's Boshi till I die, like the epiphany.
yeah. No, Joel is teaching at the school as well now. He's been
Yeah.
there for like two years now.
Hmm.
So leaving school. So you finished now 2015.
Yeah.
So what was your
2015,
what was
really,
your original plan?
that's the thing. I didn't have a plan. So through the
Yeah,
age groups when it came to rugby, I was always injured for province trials, which was always bleak because I always wanted to test myself with the best.
yeah,
Um, so I was always injured for province trials, and then we got on the setup. I did make the elite squad, but like that was like a few training sessions in like grade 11
mm,
where you train with all the gemokes and
yeah,
everyone that
yeah,
plays province, which was kind of cool, but I didn't get anywhere. So I didn't really get experience. So I never played province, and leaving school, if you don't play province, it's kind of like, geez, can you go any further with rugby or
yeah,
pretty much it. So the main plan was always to get a proper degree because both my parents didn't get degrees or finish
yeah,
matric. So that was definitely goal number 1. And then goal number 2 was to try and take my rugby as far as I can. And yeah, so I only had 2 options. I applied for UCT through the rugby
yeah.
club because Clint
Yes,
was
yes.
our rugby coach in 2015. He was also the coach of Ikey Tigers, and he put my
Okay.
name with them, which was really nice, and also helped with the scholarship prep. And then the main thing there was just getting in academically. And my plan B for that was going to the Western Province Academy, which was based in Takai back then.
Yeah.
And that you had to pay like 80 grand for the year. And then you would train with all the guys and play as the academy side, which wasn't like amazing, but it was definitely like something to do.
Yeah.
I'll just have to find the funds and the sponsorship. But luckily I'll never forget, 5th of January, 2016, I got the nod and I got accepted to UCT, which is great. And then I was on a rugby scholarship from the get-go, which was incredible. I wouldn't have been able to study without a rugby scholarship. And then, yeah, the thing is, at UCT, the preseason starts in October the year before because varsity cups starts at like end of January. So at the end of my matric year, I was already training with the first team squad at the Ikey Tigers, which was crazy. I was playing with training with 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds. They were like semi-professional rugby players, professional rugby players. And then only after I got in, we kind of like broke out into under 20s and first team. And then that's where it all started for me. I managed to get a lot of game time in varsity cup for the young guns in 2016. And then, it was great. We had an unbeaten league season in first year. And then I managed to get my first cap in league for the first team. And then I just built on that.
Yeah. How were your academics through the years?
Academics, I'm not going to lie, when I started at UCT, I honestly didn't believe I was going to be able to finish it, but not based on how difficult it was to be a student athlete, but just on the material. I thought it was quite difficult to adjust to uni level, because high school only really prepares you for the first 2 weeks, people say, and it's true. Because I was doing like crazy maths. I went into like the A stream of maths in first year, and then I immediately dropped down because like it was crazy difficult. I was really confused. But then I managed to get through. First year and second year, there was a lot of 50s on my transcript. And then I finished off my third year quite strong, and then I managed to get my degree, which was cool. And then 3 years on a scholarship of rugby, like it's great to get your undergrad, but then you kind of want to keep going further. So then I kept on studying degrees. So I did a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Oceanography, and then I thought a nice link with that would be a postgrad diploma in Marine Environmental Law. So I did that for a year. So I was just stacking up degrees whilst playing rugby at the highest level. And then through the years, I was there for 6 years. I was trying to work my way into the varsity cup squad, because it's quite easy to play first team for league, because like there's not enough numbers throughout the season because of injuries. But to play varsity cup it's really competitive. And I just really wanted to get some game time, and I managed to get my first cap in 2018, which was my third year of studying, but I only played 2 games because it was so competitive. I was competing with Liam Greenhalgh, and the man's incredible on the rugby field. So it made sense. And then I had an injury towards the end of 2018, and then the main thing was the Japan rugby tour for the University World Cup at the end of 2019.
I saw that,
which was pretty epic. So Oaks weren't really worrying about VC 2019. They just wanted to play the whole of league and make the Japan squad to go. So I was injured because I had a shoulder up at the end of 2018, and then so I missed VC 2019, and then I played the whole of league, and I played quite well. I managed to captain the league side in 2019.
So when you always play league, who are you playing against? The clubs and all that?
We're playing Villagers, we're playing Hamiltons, we're playing Esco Warmers, we're playing Bala. It's interesting. It's quite a step down from varsity cup in terms of like professionalism and intensity, but it's quite hard because it's day in, day out. You're playing matches at like 10 at night in Belhar. You only get home at like 12:30, and you have a lecture at 8 a.m. the next morning. So league is a different ball game, but it's like a really valuable experience in terms of getting first team caps.
So what was your original degree that you studied at UCT?
So there was the undergrad, which was a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Oceanography. There's 2 majors. And then I did a postgrad diploma in law, and then I finished off in 2020 doing my financial analysis honors, a BCom honors.
So have you just combined that all together through the years?
Yeah. I mean, my passion's environmental science, but then I kind of like studied all things that can tuck into it as well. So I did environmental science, I did environmental law, and I did business. So I'm hoping to be able to consult sustainable development in some sort of way, hopefully in Europe. And all of these aspects like tying together in terms of me understanding how businesses work and understanding how the environment works and creating solutions.
So you broke into the UCT first team. What year did you break into that?
I would say properly broke into towards the end of 2019 for
Okay,
the
yeah.
Japan tour. So I managed to get like a few caps here and there in between 2018 and the beginning of 2019.
Mm.
But then from the end of 2019 onwards, I was pretty secure in the team.
Yeah.
Managed to get a co-captaincy in 2020 for the Varsity Cup before the pandemic hit. And then, pardon me, and then I was captain for the 2021 campaign.
And
this
that
year.
experience, Japan, I think you guys win that, eh?
Yeah, we won it. It's people call it the University World Cup, but it's not quite that. It's an invitational tournament, and they invite the top academic universities from each of the continents. And it coincides with the Rugby World Cup. So the first one was in 2015 in England.
Yeah.
And they invited all the top academic universities, and then we won. So then we automatically qualified for the 2019 one. So 2019 one, the top academic universities were like Sydney University, Oxford. There was us. There was British Columbia from Canada. Yeah, and that was just really cool in terms of playing in like a cup final type situation, because we've in varsity cup over the years. In 2016 we were playing pro relegation. We're about to get kicked out of the varsity cup.
Yeah.
So we were building
I
up
remember,
towards 2020. Yeah, and we'd never been in a semi or anything. So like playing Japan was really crucial, because we played a semi, we played a final, and we knew what it was like to feel that pressure. It's a different type of pressure playing a cup game. You can't make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, so that was really good, and that definitely prepared us for Varsity Cup 2020 and 2021.
Yeah. So Varsity Cup 2020, how was that campaign?
2020 was really good. We had a change of management staff, and we had a few new players. The biggest change was our head coach, Tom Dawson-Squibb, who's actually also bosch old boy. He was the head boy in 2002, I think. And he was actually our coach in first year at UCT and in second year. So he knew us quite well. So my age group, everyone that matriculated in 2015, he coached all of us in 2016 and 2017. So he was very familiar with like the backbone of the squad. And he had very interesting strategies when it came to coaching us and connecting us off the field and on the field. Like he was really good at building the right gears and team culture and coaching staff. Like it was crazy, because the coaching staff seemed tighter than the actual players themselves. So like when the coaches are having more fun than the players and are like tighter and more like, you just see friendships everywhere. Like it really influences the players. So that was like the biggest thing for me, and why I thought we did so well in 2020. Yeah, and we were unbeaten in 2020 until we played Marty's, where we lost by 1 point, and that was huge for Ikey Tigers in the past like 5 years. Like we beat like convincing teams, and like we were looking really good. And then the pandemic hit us when we still had like 2 games to play. So we were like pretty set for making a semi-final in 2020. So that got our tails up, and we knew that our plan was working, and everything was going well.
And how was that experience of like, I've always thought about it, the like moving around, because like you guys play, say you're playing at like Wits or somewhere like that, and then you fly back. So then what happens then with your lectures and stuff that needs to be done? Do you
it's a slight inconvenience when it comes to being an academic, because you have to rule off all of your Mondays and Tuesdays. You can sometimes make like a Tuesday tutorial.
You play every Monday night.
Yeah, but like towards the beginning of the academic calendar, we always start Varsity Cup before university starts. So we'll start studying. Classes will start like in week 2 of Varsity Cup, week 3. So you have like your routine with rugby, and then you got to try slot in the academics, and you just know in advance like Mondays and Tuesdays unavailable, and you need to get permission from the sports union. You need to get your permission from the sports union, sign forms, make arrangements, and then if you have a test on like a Wednesday, you're studying on the plane, you're studying in the hotel room, you're studying after the guys have had beers, after a win or loss. Like you got to fit it in somewhere.
So when did you become captain of the team, man?
Well, it was in drips and drabs. Like I said, in
Oh
20,
yeah.
I
So
got my first varsity cup cap in 2018, but in 2016, when I was a first year, I still got my first like league cap for the first
yeah.
team. So I got to play with all the old guys, and that was really valuable. So like I started captaining the first team in like spot competition. So in league, there's like a President's Cup where it's a cup ending for the league. So the top four of the league will play semis and a final. And I remember I captained the President's Cup campaign, which is just the two or three games.
Yeah.
In 2017. So I got a bit of experience captaining the first team then, but it's like a lot less pressure. It's more informal. It's not really professional like Varsity Cup. So I got that experience under the belt. And then I captained league in 2019 because I was in good form. So I captained the whole of the league, which was fantastic. And then I was a co-captain in Japan, which was good. And then that kind of like built momentum for Varsity Cup 2020, where I was a co-captain with Neo Otto. And then that led to 2021 when I was just the sole captain.
And that whole captaincy role, is that your thing? You like leadership? And
it was funny because at Bosch, I was never captain throughout the age group, never considered myself a leader. I just did my own thing. I'll never forget Jamie King was our captain, like a really good rugby player. And like,
he was my coach in grade 8.
He's got incredible leadership skills.
Like
everyone will tell you. And then he was captain throughout the age groups. Grade 11, a matric was captain. And then when we were in matric, Clint van Rensburg made me captain. And he didn't really warn me. He just phoned me up the one day. He's like, Greenie, I want to make you captain. And I was like, but what about Jamie? Like, he's an unreal captain. And he was like, no, I think you got what it takes and you got something different. And I just never turned back from that day. I just kept on going with it. Everyone was a bit weirded out in the beginning with King, but I just chatted to him in the beginning. I was like, bud, like, you're still a proper leader. I might be the face, but you can do all the, like, everyone's going to follow you and lead through you. And what I realized in that year is that people follow me as well through my actions, and it doesn't matter how bad my chat is, as long as my actions are good, like, people follow. And then that set me up for everything post school. Like, it gave me a lot of confidence to just back my actions.
I get that. And that matric year, so how did you guys do in your matric year?
Matric year, we came in hot. We did really well from the start, and then I got injured in the warm-up game before Wynberg, which was the first game of the season. I did my shoulder, and then I came back for the Bishops game in the first half of the season. So I missed like 8 games. But before the Wynberg game, we obviously the dream team year, so many scholarships. So we just missed out in terms of the international rugby tour, because there's an international rugby tour like every 4 years, I think.
Oh yes, sure. I think there was the island one.
Yeah, that was in 2016. So we were missing it. So then I think it was our parents and stuff like made a noise. So then we went on an international tour to Namibia.
Oh yeah.
So after Kids Festival, we went to Namibia, played in Walvis Bay. We didn't lose a game. We played Newlands, didn't lose. Won all of that. We played in a festival at Paul Rus, which was like 150th festival. And then we played Oteniko, won. So like those are all really big rugby schools. And we got W's, which is great. And then when the first game came, I got injured, but like we pumped Wynberg by like 50. Zane and Amani were just scoring the whole time. And then we lost to all the past schools. I think we lost to Sachs, and then we lost to Bishops in the first half of the season, which wasn't great. So it was a pretty average season in the middle. So our consistency was nowhere. But then in the second half, we did pretty well. We lost to Lampo by like 2 points, and then we got a triple crown in the end, which was a nice ending. So like we came in hot, started well, we're cuck in the middle, and then at the end we finished strong. And that's what we really remember today, is just Newlands, and we remember Bishops. Like that's what we will be talking about. So that's what
like
we really
we played our last game this weekend against Wynberg. And I don't know if you saw any of it, but it didn't really go away.
Yeah, I was watching on
And
YouTube.
it just felt so bad. Like I was playing thirds, and even for the matrix, when you lose because it's their last game and I'm grade 11,
Yeah.
so like it wasn't really bad for me. I could take it, but just seeing how like upset the guys were, it wasn't nice at all.
Yeah, it's never nice being like that, but then also when
Yeah,
you consider the whole pandemic and the
yeah,
difficulties
yeah,
of
yeah, exactly. At least you,
seasons, like it makes it even worse. I can't imagine
yeah,
like how tough it must be to swallow that pill.
yeah.
But I think it's still nice to actually get the opportunity,
No,
like
exactly,
regardless,
exactly.
regardless.
Yeah, the week
Yeah,
before
you
we had
grade 11s you can remember this feeling and use it to motivate you for next year.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It was quite weird having Weinberg as the last game because you always finish off with Bishops.
Peculiar. Not sure why
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
know why that
they
was?
swapped it around now, but apparently we have another game this next weekend playing Sax, grade 11s only, because matrix are now writing all their,
Marks.
yeah. So it's gonna be very awkward. Like there could be some 13 players playing firsts now, and
Are they not going to pull up the grade 10s? I
no,
suppose they can't for the
no,
age groups.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I guess they're only gonna play like two teams, two maybe three teams now. But yeah.
I think that's going to be. Are they going to call it the first teams of the school? Like you playing for the first team, or they're just
I
going to
thought
call
about
it
that
second?
as well, but I think they will actually, yeah.
Then
Or
that's an unreal opportunity for the grade
yeah,
11s.
yeah, no, exactly,
That's pretty
exactly.
sick.
Yeah.
That's gonna make it.
Um,
It's actually that's like age group rugby.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like the grade 10s of last year going to play
Or they could just
like it's
call it like
just
under 17 type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's quite
yeah.
unique. That's quite special.
Your last game against Bishops,
Our last
you
game,
guys.
55-12.
Oh, 50-12, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that was us. That was
yeah, no.
us.
And then the next year, was it the next year or was it, I don't know, I think it was 2017 at 64.
2016 was pretty tight both years, I think, both
Mm,
games, but they got the double, which was big. If any 2016 player comes to you, they're going to make sure you know that they got the double,
yeah, yeah.
aka Matthew Krubler.
Mm,
But yeah, I think 2017 they got the 64-7
64-7,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the PB of Bosch.
That's
That's the
still,
best
that
one.
lives on every year. Because
That's fantastic.
I mean, this year, like, not this weekend, last weekend, 2 weeks ago when we played Bishops, the Weinberg Sachs game was like half an hour before our first team game, and then everyone saw the score, and I think they lost. I think it was 45-5 or something like that. They lost,
Yeah.
and we were all like, "Yo, they got pummeled by Weinberg," and then like half an hour later, the same thing happened to us.
Oh, it's tough out there.
Yeah,
That's actually one of my like mojo things, not mojo, but like things before a game. I'll never say we're gonna win
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
exactly.
never want to jinx myself ever. So I'll just say I'll try my best.
Yeah,
We'll give it a big shot out there. I'll never say we're gonna win
yeah,
because I think that's like jinxing. So that's one thing I don't do before a game.
yeah. So then 2020 campaign, you guys finish. So you guys were in
Yeah,
a lot better place than you were in previous years.
way better place.
Yeah, yeah.
Way better place.
And
We
then
managed to play 6 games and we won 5.
yeah,
No, we won 4, drew 2, lost 1.
okay. Did
Jeez,
you
that
guys
math is so off.
did you guys
That
get
math
cut
was
off?
terrible.
Did you guys get cut off by the corona and all that, or did it stop before?
No, we got cut off, like completely
Okay.
cancelled. We had like 3 games to play.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then so 2021 campaign, you guys start. What was the whole feeling coming into that now?
Well, we had a lot of momentum from the 2020 year. We had a lot of
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah.
Most of the guys stayed in terms of players. All the coaching staff was still the same. Only we signed on Robbie Fleck, who's the ex-Stormers coach, who
Yeah.
is a rugby genius.
Mm,
And he fixed our attack. Not fixed it, but just gave suggestions that made us really, really dangerous on attack and enjoy
yeah,
our attack. So we made a few tweaks to our game plan from 2020, and we were, I think, a lot fitter because we've been training for a year and
Yeah.
not playing any rugby. So bodies were bodies were like really strong. There were no niggles for a whole year. So we came in really, really hot for VC 2021. The only difference was the bubble format. It was unknown for everyone.
Weird,
so it
yeah.
kind of put everyone off. Playing a varsity cup game takes a lot on the body, especially for me. I just feel so old because my body like seizes up and I need to get into ice from neck down. Otherwise I won't be able to walk the next day. So playing a general VC game over the years, like you need the full week to recover, like physically. And with this bubble format, we were playing 3 games in 7 days, and it was just crazy. But it was crazy in the sense that we were actually able to do it. And credit to our medical team and physios and staff. Like our bodies are unreal. Like to play an 80-minute game like 3 times in a week is crazy.
Yeah.
And we had like technology. We had this like compression leg things to help circulate. We circulate our blood in our legs. And we were like stretching and taking it really seriously, our recovery, nutrition, sleep. And we were able to regenerate our bodies over 2 days and then play another 80-minute game and then do that again 3 times in 1 week. And then on top of that, guys were studying really hard. So like that was a huge challenge. And credit to our management, they were so organized. I've never seen it like a team work so well together.
Yeah.
Such as our management. And then the players like bought into every single thing that the coaches did and said. So we were all on the same page and all worked. And all the plans.
Because all the bubbles that you guys had, if I'm correct, were they all up in Joburg, Pretoria?
All in Pretoria.
Yeah. All in Pretoria.
On the Tux campus. We stayed the post-grad res, which is like a newly built building, and it was literally just concrete everywhere. There wasn't even any paint.
Jeez.
It's just concrete, and we had the res food, which was quite dodgy in the beginning. They didn't feed us enough, and guys were going hungry. Honest, guys were getting hungry. And then the bio bubble was interesting. They said it was going to be 100% secure bio bubble, but it was probably like
dodgy
10% secure. Like people ordering Uber Eats. There were other postgrads there we were living with, and there was a COVID outbreak by bubble 2.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Varsity Cup management are like, okay, we need to buckle down. No more Uber Eats. Like we're going to be stricter. Because the Wits team had like 19 COVID cases by the end of the bubble 2, and then we had to extend our break between bubble 2 and bubble 3. So that was a huge adjustment with regards to any other previous Varsity Cup as expected. But it worked in our favor actually, because we weren't allowed any booze for the bubble, so bodies were healthy, and we got into a rhythm as a team.
Do you think it favored you guys, but didn't favor a lot of other teams?
Yeah, I really think so, because if you weren't tight socially as a team, you were suckling. Because if you're not tight in that sort of bubble environment where you see the same faces every day for 3 meals a day, it's going to get tough, and you're not going to want to be around each other. Then you're not going to play well on the field. So it definitely worked in our favor, and that's credit to our coach, who's a flipping genius at getting us tight off the field.
Yeah. And then you guys had like experiences. You played at did you guys play at Lofters?
Yeah. So we alternated between the Tux main field, which is also in a really nice stadium, and then Lofters, which was
that's been cool.
Incredible experience for me.
Yeah.
I've never played any professional rugby, so I never had the opportunity to play in the stadium. The only other stadium was Newlands twice for school. So to play at Lofters was literally a dream experience that I never knew I needed, but I've had it now. So
that's it.
I'm really stoked about that. And they had to alternate the field because obviously so much rugby being played. So that's why they did it. And it was really, really cool.
So you guys go through the tournament. Were you unbeaten up until the final? Ooh.
Yeah.
Unbeaten up until the final.
No draws, no nothing. We were just getting W's after W's, which was a really weird feeling to get used to.
Must be.
Quickly realized that winning becomes a habit. Which is something as a bosch boy never really experienced. As a UCT guy, never really experienced. So 2021 was an interesting one because we just kept on winning, which was weird but wonderful.
Yeah. No, it looked like you guys had a really, really nice bunch of O's in your squad. A lot of the guys, or a couple of them, were coaching this year. My forwards coach is McLeod Smith. And then there were others. I don't know.
Leroux Milan and
Leroux
Matthew
Milan as well. On
Yeah,
Saturday, he was with us. And Byron, I think, as well, was
Byron
second.
Bowes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. He doesn't play. James van Rensburg, you know who he is. He doesn't play
Yeah,
rugby.
he was a social campaign manager.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he organized all our socials, which were very important for us doing so well.
So you guys make it to the final. That experience of the whole final must have been epic.
It's for most of us, or for a lot of us, it was a once in a lifetime. Someone like Gary Portu, who was at the club for 6 years, the same amount of time as me. We saw it. In our first year in 2016, it was the promo relegation year, so we lost every single game in Varsity Cup. So to make it all the way to the final 2021, first time we made a final since 2015, like it was huge for us. It was such a cool experience. And I think for the youngsters, the guys straight out of school, like what a way to start. And like now they know the feeling and what needs to be done to get there.
And now you know like the standards are set.
The standards are set, which is really cool. And I think the youngsters we had are already like leaders in their own way. They don't know it. Like you don't have to make a speech to be a leader. Like you just, it's the way you convey yourself. And I think all of them are leaders in their own way. So we have there's a really powerful group at UCT at the moment. And the experience of the final was cool. I mean, it sucked that we lost, but
of course
that's life. And just being there and playing was like an unreal experience. Like I can't complain in that regard.
So you finished off the final. So you finished at UCT now, of course. So when did you finish off?
So in order to play Varsity Cup, you have to be a registered student, and you have to be registered for a degree or diploma, and you have to be registered for 60 credits in the year. So I finished my financial analysis honors in December 2021, January. So I had to register for another course to play. Ideally, if I knew that I don't know what was happening with my studies in Scotland and stuff, so I didn't extend my course. If I knew that, I would have extended my honors into like halfway of 2021, and then I wouldn't have need to register for another degree or diploma. But considering I finished early, which is weird, I had to do something else, and the only options I had was like I had to do an investment management master's or a disability studies diploma. And I'd just done my honors in financial analysis, and I wasn't really keen to do investment management masters because I knew I was going to come, well, hopefully I really wanted to come to Scotland to do a master's. So I went for the disability studies diploma just to play Varsity Cup, and it was actually a really enjoyable degree. Like I really recommend it for people.
How long did it take you?
Well, it's still going.
But I
just re-registered. I just did the first semester of it, which was like 2 courses, but it was like super interesting. I really enjoyed it.
So you finished off UCT. Now you're in Scotland.
I deregistered a week after the final.
Okay.
Yeah. So got done with that, and then I'm in Scotland now.
So the whole move to Scotland, I think I've always had a thing for Scotland, and like even watching their rugby and all that. My grandma and that side of the family originally comes from Scotland. So like
really,
that's
unreal. Where in Scotland are they from?
No idea. I'll have to ask. My middle name is.
No, you must. You gotta know your
my middle name is Ross, after the what can you call it? Like the clan that they were part of long ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. So the whole move to Scotland, how have you found that?
Jeez, well, it's been a process And to be here
I
is
can
like
imagine.
crazy considering how long the process is to actually get here. So it started like nearly 2 years ago. One of the guys at UCT who was the year above me went to Bishops, Georg Peterson.
Yeah.
He came here doing a master's. He's still here actually because he just wants to play the Scottish varsity match against Edinburgh. He the coaches of St Andrews came and did a tour South Africa to try and find good varsity players. So they went to Marty's, Madiba's, us, and then G ended up coming here because they scouted him, and he said he loved coming here, and I immediately knew as soon as he said that he gave the thumbs up, I knew I wanted to come here, purely for academics, but the rugby got me here. So yeah, it's just incredible to be here. I've sent so many emails with regards to getting scholarships, organizing funding, and getting into academics. The pandemic worked well in my favor. I think if there was an online school, it would have been way harder and I wouldn't have been able to get into this master's. So shout out to COVID. Jokes.
I find that amazing how you can use I think that's such a positive of rugby or any sports in general, is how you can use that. I don't know what the word is, to like transfer. I mean, like you using your rugby to study as well, and that's gotten you into so many places.
100%. So rugby has gotten me everywhere in my life. It got me to Bosch from Sud Valley. I got there on a rugby scholarship, and I got to UCT on a rugby scholarship. I got to here on a rugby scholarship. The sport has done so much for me, and I guess I'm gonna give credit to the old man, my dad, who like instilled the rugby love for me since I could walk. So, and he showed me like the connections you get from rugby.
No, of course.
Crazy to be here. Like it's absolutely crazy. Like,
even those like talking about like the school, those bosch connections are so awesome. Like it's literally ever since I've been in grade 8, my dad's also an old boys. He's told me about like one day you're going to see like the connections after school and everything, and how it can get you places is awesome.
100%. I'm here with 2 other bosch guys. I'm here with Byron Bose and Devin Orenser. Who Bose was in my team in 2015 and Devin was in the 2016 team. And they played me in the varsity cup final as well. So like the world is small and you can really make good links through rugby. Huge, like it's just crazy how much it can impact your life positively. And there's bosch gents scattered all over the UK. So I've got like 3 places to stay all over the UK through bosch, just bosch alone. And then UCT is like even another addition to that. I know like quite a few UCT oaks here as well.
Guys, I mean, there's tons of you guys have a lot of bosch guys in your team, I'm pretty sure.
Quite a few.
That's awesome. And then so Scotland now, you at where you at? St Andrews, correct?
University of St Andrews. It's an hour north of Edinburgh.
Okay. And the rugby, how's that going?
The rugby is interesting. So in South Africa, after we played the University World Cup thing, we realized that the university rugby in South Africa is really probably the highest quality in the world. And standard. But that's only because our club system's a bit not as strong as other places. So I think Varsity Cup produces a lot of professional rugby players, where else in the world they depend on their club rugby to get pro rugby players. So in the UK, they don't really depend or feed off their universities to get rugby players. They feed off their club rugby. So the uni rugby here is a bit of a step down from South African Varsity Cup. But it's super enjoyable. The thing here is that there's not a lot of post-grad rugby players. So all the rugby players at university are quite relatively young.
Okay.
So us post-grads here are 23, 24, and our teammates are 18, 19, 20. So really young, but very athletic and capable, and still learning how to not play,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
still getting better in their rugby.
So are you working as well, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so food and accommodation super expensive. I might
Yeah, of
have
course.
tuition quite cheap, but food and accommodation here is crazy expensive. So luckily the rugby club organized us to get jobs at the sports center, which is an
Okay.
incredible facility at St. Andrews. It's got everything you can think of except a pool.
Mhm.
And basically we are just support staff at the gym, and we just
Yeah.
help out. And we
Yeah.
work 3 shifts a week, and that pays
So
for
you
our
and
food.
the other boshers are with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sweet. So
yeah.
plans for the future that you have. So of course
Plans for
now.
the future. I'm gonna be straight up. The dream is to play for Spain.
Okay.
I'm half Spanish. My mom's
Interesting.
from Barcelona, and considering that I just don't back my rugby in South Africa, I
Yeah.
think I'm not a flashy type of player. Like you're never going to see me on the rugby field. I'm always in a ruck.
Yeah.
I think I have more chance of having fun in playing rugby in Spain than in SA. So it's purely for enjoyment and not for pay. So I would like to go live in Spain post degree and work on the side, because it's not really professional rugby. So I'll work on the side, play club rugby, and hopefully try and make my way into the Spanish setup, and then put on a Spanish jumper.
And their rugby, is it up and coming like many of the other European?
I think it's up and coming. It's always
Yeah.
been there. They've been
I mean,
making World Cups there.
yeah, and their sevens as well as, yeah.
Sevens is on the circuit, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm fast enough for sevens, to be honest. The props of my team here are faster than me, so that's a sign. But yeah, I think the rugby is up and coming.
Okay.
They are up and coming. They're signing a lot of people from all over the world. Like you'll see a lot of Fijians and South Africans playing in Spain. But what helps and works in my favor is having a Spanish passport. So that means I'm eligible to play for Spain from the get-go, whereas other people in the past needed to get their Spanish eligibility to play. So you need to play club rugby for like 3 years at least, and then you can play for Spain. So I have that advantage, and I would like to use it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I don't have much else to talk about, but yeah, I'm excited to see what the future brings for you, man.
Cool. Thanks so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome seeing you. I remember the first time I saw you play, it must have been 2020. And I didn't even know you went to Bosch, and then they said something about you being the Bosch elbow, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. But it was awesome seeing you really lead the team this year, 2021, and come up, and your whole story is pretty awesome. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It was so nice chatting to you. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Take care, man.
Thanks, bro.